Hey everyone, let's just dive right into this explainer. If you've ever felt like search engine optimization is basically some kind of dark art, trust me, you are definitely not alone. Today, we're going to completely demystify this overwhelming digital landscape. We're going to break down the anatomy of a complete SEO strategy using a really comprehensive blueprint directly from FirstPageRanks, which is a leading SEO agency out of Chennai. We're going to map out exactly how digital authority is built, quite literally from the ground up. So what does it actually take to snag that coveted page one spot on Google? Because let's be real, ranking today requires way more than just randomly stuffing a bunch of keywords into your website's text. The algorithms have completely evolved, user expectations have absolutely skyrocketed, and search engines are looking for this incredibly complex web of trust, relevance, and technical perfection. To make sense of this whole ecosystem, we're going to break down the modern landscape, look at the three core pillars of SEO, dive into specialized optimization, tackle penalty recovery, run through actual timelines and pricing, and finally, discuss how to measure true digital success. All right, kicking things off with part one, the modern SEO landscape. The blueprint heavily emphasizes a concept called white hat SEO. Now, the absolute key takeaway here is that this means using ethical methods for sustainable long-term growth. We're talking about creating high-quality, valuable content and building genuine backlinks. It is the total opposite of those sketchy black hat tactics, like hidden text or keyword stuffing. Sure, those might get you a super quick spike in traffic, but they will inevitably result in severe search engine penalties. Think of it like building a digital house. You absolutely want it on a solid foundation, not built on cheap tricks. Which brings us right into part two, the three core pillars of SEO. Think of it like this. You've got to balance what you control on your own site versus the reputation you build out there in the wild. On-page SEO. That's entirely in your hands. It's your meta tags, your header structures, your content writing. It basically tells the search engine what you are. Off-page SEO, on the other hand, tells the search engine how important you are. This relies on high-quality backlink building, guest posting, and brand mentions on other reputable sites. It's essentially the internet's voting system. And then there's the third pillar, technical SEO. You could literally have the most amazing content on the web and the best external links, but if search engines can't actually crawl your site, you're a ghost. You're invisible. This pillar focuses on the back end, making sure your site loads incredibly fast, is fully secured with HTTPS, and has a well-optimized XML sitemap. That sitemap is basically a roadmap for Google's bots, letting them easily read and index your pages without hitting a bunch of dead ends, like 404 errors. Moving right along to part three, let's look at specialized digital optimization. Because honestly, a generic one-size-fits-all strategy just doesn't cut it anymore. Your approach has to mold to your exact business model. Like, a local coffee shop absolutely needs intense local SEO, optimizing their Google business profile and map citations so they actually pop up for near-me searches. Meanwhile, an online store needs e-commerce SEO, which is all about deep product page architecture, cart optimization, and things like that. And hey, with the massive rise of smart speakers, optimizing for voice search using conversational long-tail keywords is rapidly becoming mandatory if you want to reach users on the go. Now for part four, reputation and penalty recovery. Because what happens when things go wrong? Let's face it, sometimes websites take a massive hit. Maybe a past agency used some of those cheap black hat tricks we talked about earlier, and boom, you're hit with a Google penalty. If that happens, there is a very structured recovery process to handle it. The method involves identifying if the penalty is algorithmic or manual, doing a really deep cleanup of toxic, spammy backlinks, and then actively executing a restoration strategy to get your de-indexed site back in good standing and regain that search credibility. But it's not just about algorithmic slaps on the wrist. There's the totally human element too, your online reputation. Actively managing your reviews and keeping an eye on negative content acts as a crucial safety net for your digital authority. This means running ongoing audits, being super strategic about how you respond to customer reviews, and doing digital PR to build up positive brand authority. A single unmanaged crisis can literally undo months of fantastic SEO work. Okay, part five. Let's bring this down to earth and get into the actual investment required. When looking at the transparent pricing data from FirstPageRanks, it's pretty fascinating to see how costs scale across the different pillars. Rather than treating SEO like some mysterious black box, we can see that foundational on-page work is incredibly accessible. However, the heavy lifting involved in technical SEO and off-page link building requires a higher investment, scaling up to around 8,000 rupees a month. It perfectly visualizes exactly where the real labor hours go in a comprehensive campaign. And speaking of labor, just to put the timeline into perspective, it takes 5 to 8 days just to get through the initial discovery and planning phase. That just proves that real, sustainable SEO requires serious upfront market analysis, competitor benchmarking, and detailed keyword mapping before a single change is ever even made to the website. Finally, part 6, measuring digital success. How do we know it's working? Because as they say, you can't manage what you don't measure. A truly professional campaign is going to be obsessively tracking these specific metrics to ensure ongoing growth and accountability. We aren't just looking at keyword rankings in a vacuum, right? We're analyzing the flow of organic traffic, monitoring conversion rates to see if those visitors are actually buying anything, and constantly checking page speed and core web vitals. Those are the specific metrics Google uses to grade your site's user experience, guaranteeing the site continues to perform flawlessly. So here's the ultimate reality check on expectations. While you might see some quick wins from initial technical tweaks or newly indexed pages, noticeable, reliable SEO growth takes several months, not days, months. It is absolutely a marathon of consistently proving your authority to search engines. Anyone expecting overnight success is just fundamentally misunderstanding the modern digital landscape. When you step back and look at the whole picture, the blazing fast speed, the high-quality content, the reputation management, the mobile optimization, it's not just about making an algorithm happy. The source material hits the nail on the head here. SEO fundamentally improves user experience, website usability, and your overall brand reputation. The search engines are simply rewarding you for serving the human user well. So, having seen the complete anatomy of a rock-solid campaign, from the highly technical audits all the way to off-page link building and local optimization, you have to ask yourself, is your digital foundation built to last? Are you still relying on cheap tricks? Or are you actually ready to invest in the long-term journey of digital authority? Take a hard look at your own digital presence today and ask yourself, is it truly built for the actual humans you want to reach?